I'm really good at like, okay, everyone says this way. Okay, what can I do to make it sound more curiosity, right?
Yeah.
Because the only way we're going to get into the house is motivation, right? If they're
Yeah.
motivated, or curiosity. That's pretty much it. But I mean, in the meantime, obviously, I would put them on like a sold list or something like that. And then what I've been doing as well is if I have someone that, a buyer in the area that might be open to that specific unit or whichever, I would let that person know, hey, I have a buyer. I understand that you're probably not thinking of selling or anything like that, but curious, like, if we gave you some time, like a week or 2 weeks to kind of get your house prepped, would you consider having my buyer in? At the end of the day, if they say no, that's fine. But
Yeah.
you know what you're doing to the prospect? You're like, wow, okay, this person's thinking about me. They
Right.
have buyers in the area. So when I'm ready to sell, why wouldn't I call that person? How's everyone this morning? Living the dream or what?
Trying to.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
That's
So
why I'm here.
nice. So thanks for coming in, guys. So obviously a little bit about me because I see some new faces. I've been with Meskula for almost 3 years now. Time flies by. Meskula is really great for seller lead. As you guys know, they use your social media to get, some leads coming in. And then from leads coming in, you have AI, which is Ashley, who kind of books appointments for you or tries to, or at least get you more information as possible, right? And then, obviously you need to reach out to them, or if they book an appointment to call, then you can chat with them. So what I showcase today is going to be, what do you do when a lead wants to chat with you? So, booking appointment, or let's say not even booking appointment, but, I'll switch through the two. So before I go into all that, how is everyone finding their leads or, their efforts over there? I'd love to hear.
So far for me, it's been just a learning curve. I've only been on the program for a few weeks, and I think they're still trying to tweak the ads. And so I'm getting some leads that I wasn't expecting and from different places, but I think we're getting it figured out. I think I'm pretty new to talking to strangers, so
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out the right way to say things and the right way to ask questions, and so I'm working with my coach pretty close to work through ideas. But I'm fairly natural at just talking to people. It's just
Of course.
like trying to work with people at the top of the funnel to get them to ask questions, to get them to figure out where they are in the process. And I think where I struggle is like when someone says, I don't want to list, like, that's okay. I don't blame you. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And so trying to just navigate those and not being pushy and salesy. And so.
For sure. So we'll definitely go over some of that. The goal with Meskula leads, I find, is not, obviously you want to get the sell right away, right? So we totally get that. But it's not so much of getting their house listed today. It's about building that relationship so that they're comfortable with you. And then when they're ready, as you keep in touch, as you give them value, sales in the area, other opportunities that have come up, and learning where they want to move to. So you can keep an eye on that to kind of gauge, that plan of theirs. That's where the money's at with these leads. It's about relationship. If we're going to go transactional, the problem is like we're looking at people who are hot now, right? And we're going to forget people that are 4 or 5, 6 weeks out, that we've chatted to already. So the hard part about all this is making sure you follow up and connect with people. It's not about like looking for the sale right now. Obviously we're not going to say no, but generally like these leads, online leads are usually 3 to 18 months out. Sometimes you'll get lucky and get some sales that will happen right away, which is awesome. But for the most part is like you're filling out your pipeline for the next 3 to 18 months. So that's something to consider, you know what I mean?
And yeah, that's what I've been working on, trying to build those conversations at the top of the funnel.
Yes.
And find out what their motivations are and stuff. One question I would ask is, maybe once we've had that conversation with them and put them in the long-term follow-up opportunity category, and they're getting those emails regularly, would you suggest that just be kind of the baseline, and then we go in and supplement that with like specific things in between those follow-up emails? Because I also don't want to bombard them, right?
And that's the thing.
So,
once you talk to someone, when you have a relationship, meaning like, the conversation went well, everyone's happy,
yeah.
You obviously don't want to bombard them because that's where they'll unsubscribe or they'll just get sick of it, right? So what you want to do is items of value. So as a seller, what is something of value?
What you need to do to your home to get it ready, or not do to your home to get it ready.
Okay.
Obviously, rate information,
Yeah.
what market updates, that kind of thing.
So you're saying, good things, but what you really want to do is let's step back here. You are a seller. You are going to sell your house. What information would be important to you other than that kind of stuff? Like, oh,
How
right.
much can I get? How much can I get for my house?
Not,
Obviously, that's what made them click in the first place.
but keep in mind, what we can get for our houses can change daily, right? Because your recent comparables is what's going to hold the most rate, for that. So, for example, if you have 5 homes that's all sold around 800, then that's great. If the next one starts selling at 950, obviously you can ask for more money in the market. If the next one starts selling 750, that means that, the market's falling a little bit. So, depending on what upgrades, what features your home has, it may dip a little bit. Right. So you can deal with one-off comparables, right? Like if everyone sold for like in the mid eights and one sold for 799, okay, fine. You can deal with that. But if all of them are selling now, let's say the last 4 sales are 850, 799, 760, 775, 725, then there's a problem, right? So the reason why I'm saying this is because you want to send them listings of value. So that's homes in the area that are similar that get sent to them when they just sell or when they just come on the market. That is something of value, right? Because
Awesome.
if you were just a seller and you're just kind of looking someone connected with you, and then next they start sending you good listings at in and around the area, and then all you have to do is check up on them or let them know what's sold. That is following up, right? So
Okay.
when I know when someone's doing that for me and I'm sending, I'm gaining a lot of information, maybe they're not responding to every email, but they give you some responses, that is what you want, because when you're ready, right? And when you see an opportunity could be, hey, Buck, inventory is lower right now. Buyers are kind of fighting over the crumbs. I know that I told you it was around 8, but I think right now we could probably push up to 825, 850-ish, but we would have to act right away. I know that, you were looking at moving, but if you're looking to make more money right now, the market's showcasing that it's time to do that. Are you interested?
Yeah.
So it's like doing these things because that's what makes things a value. Any other things that are value is once you find out where they want to be, right? That's when you can start sending them listings in that area, or maybe send them handpicked listings of like things they want and keep on top of that. Because remember, follow up doesn't necessarily mean like, hey, Buck, hope all is well. You know, how are you doing? The market is moving a little bit more. Let me know if you need anything, right? That's a
Right.
follow up, right? But also a follow up is you sending them items of value, which is if they want to go to an area in a community for a specific house and that comes on the market, you send that to them right away. That's basically the same thing as following up,
Yeah.
but a little bit more value because there's something tangible they can see. So
Yeah.
just something to consider. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play my call. I just actually booked a home assessment for next week yesterday. So I'll play my call. We'll go through it. And after that, I can kind of go through any objections and, things to help you guys. Okay. So let me call right now.
Hello.
Hey, Steven, how are you?
I'm well. Yourself?
I'm good. I'm living the dream just like you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
So just stepping back here for people who obviously join my coaching, you guys kind of know my scripts, but I always think that you should be super, super authentic to yourself. For me, I like to make people laugh. I'm, a little bit of a jokester. Don't take anything too seriously. So I like to get on the phone and break that ice with saying living the dream, because we all know that living the dream is tough right now. So, I always open up to that, because if they giggle, chuckle, anything like that, that means they're going to give me a moment of their time. And if you hear from the beginning, right? If I do it from here, his tone changes. Sorry, let me redo this now.
Hello.
Hey, Steven, how are you?
I'm well. Yourself?
You see how you gave me like a business voice? Like, hey, I'm good, whatever, right? And then I'm good. I'm living the dream just like you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm on the race.
See, now he's making a joke back. So this is a great, because if someone's doing something like that, they're going to give you a moment of their time, and that's what you want.
Side of the green.
Hey, that's all that matters then, right?
Well, yeah. Yeah, it's a good start.
That's good. Well, hey, it's just Nick Moretti giving you a shout.
Yeah.
Calling you for the online assessment. So I appreciate your time. Just
Okay.
wanted to let you know, I totally understand that you're kind of looking for an online assessment. So right now I'm trying to strip any objections, right? So what I'm really good at is I like to say everything up front so they know what it is and I don't have to, while they're talking to me in their head, they don't have to think, oh, I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to sell something or whatever. So I always start off just saying, hey, just, thank you for the opportunity to do the online assessment. Just want to let you know real quick that this is not a sales call by any means. This is just helping you find your online assessment and showcasing some sales in the area to help you out. Does that sound good? And then I get right into it. So this is not a sales call by any means, just more so helping you find that online assessment for your home. Does that sound good?
Right. Yeah, that sounds good.
Perfect. So I'm in Bowmanville myself. I know you're in Newcastle, so I know the area very well. Definitely. For those who are not in my area, Bowmanville, Newcastle is basically in the same city, just different communities.
Okay.
We've sold, a few, especially this year, a few on Lake Breeze, like the condo townhouses. We have a listing in 50 Lake Breeze right now, another condo unit. And so we know the area very well. We do tons of transactions, so which is good. So I can go into some of the stuff that I found, and then if you can kind of circle me in on some stuff,
Sure.
finishings or all that stuff, then we can kind of go through it. But I'll go through what I found. So basically, I see that the house was purchased back in 2008. And then I'm assuming, you and Pamela are obviously together. So you kind of, I see that there. So I see the last sale, which was so super important. And I'm going to show you here. So most people, I'm pretty sure that you guys are not going that deep into title right away and all that stuff. So this is the property here. Okay. Now, what's interesting is I always check the title search, right? So, and the reason why you do this is because you want to show that you're educated, you're doing your homework, and you're a professional. We're all professionals here, right? So basically, I see back in 2008, she was on title, right? She literally, she bought the house. Then her and him, I guess, went on title, and then they got married somewhere in 2024. It sounds like, maybe a little sooner, right? So this is super important because they're probably going to be impressed. Like, oh my God, how did this guy know? And that's what you want to do. You want to impress them. You want to show that you've done your homework. 2008. So, obviously there's not so many photos I can see when it gets, through the years like that. I always say no matter if there is a lot of photos or not, unless it's a 1 year sale that just happened, I always tell people that I can't see it, even though I can. The reason being is because it gives me more ammo to get into the home assessment, to get inside the door. Okay, and you guys will hear some of that.
Yeah.
But I can tell you definitely from what I see on the front photo, you definitely have really nice curb appeal, which is super cool. You have like a more enclosed terrace up above the garage, which is nice. I see that it's a 3+1 and 4 bathrooms. Is that still the home?
It's a 3-bedroom.
Yep.
There's no +1.
No,
The +1 was
sorry, my apologies.
No, it's okay. The +1 was in the basement.
Yes.
It was a very weak +1. So we removed it and we made the basement all one recreation area.
Nice.
So the basement, it's completely finished. I don't know what, it's got a fireplace, it's got a shower, toilet, sink, bathroom, and the furnace room is down there.
Yeah, for sure, of course. The utility room.
So we basically have redone the entire house and.
Perfect. The best thing is when someone says they've redone the entire house, this gives you more ammo to get inside the house. Because now it's like you can't really assess it. And you guys will see how I get to close later on. But
grounds, like there's no grass.
Cool. Did you guys put turf or just all landscape?
No, it's all landscape.
Do you see how I'm asking questions too? Because I feel that a lot of agents right now would just say, "Oh, cool, that's all." But like I'm questioning everything, and that shows that you're listening and you're engaged.
So it's either concrete pads. So in the backyard, it's a 2-level concrete pad with a stone pathway and garden, hot tub with like a big gazebo over it.
Nice.
Like a bar. There's a bar there. Then from the from the back of the house, which stretches basically the entire width of the house. We have the kitchen, and the dining area has a gas fireplace. Kitchen area, it's all granite.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So go ahead.
Sorry, my apologies. Just to help give you some guidance, because I know it's always hard to talk about about yourself or about your house, right? So
Yeah.
I'll just kind of go through some guidelines there, but that was really great. So how long ago did you guys do the renos when you guys did the whole house?
All the big renos would have been done after I retired, which was 2012.
Cool.
And then I went back to work. But I would say probably 2013, 2014 for all the outside rentals.
Okay. And then the inside was around that same time too?
The inside has been gradually here and there.
Yeah,
like we've redone the staircase. It's all like glass wall staircase.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds really nice. So for sure. So it sounds like obviously it's hard for me to quantify without kind of seeing, right?
Yeah.
In terms of, especially if you spend some good money in your house, we definitely want to make sure that we assess it in the most premium light as possible. So, going into the market right now is obviously a few things have changed. So obviously in 2022, that's like the highest point of the market.
So what I like to do just before going into the appointment asking is I like to give them, okay, you giving me the information, perfect. Let me give you a little bit of the last few years of what the market's been doing. Because then I want to take the pressure off that. I want to educate them, right? It's all about educating. Once you educate correctly and they respond well, that's when you can go for the trial close to get into that house, right? So you guys can hear this.
Super crazy price points, low interest. 2023 was more of, kind of more of a downfall year because of the interest rates went up 13, 14 times consecutively and all these kind of things, right? Which killed the market. 2024 was more of a recovery year. And then going into 2025, it looked very promising. Like the market was doing very well. But then we had our best friend Trump start words of tariffs and making a mess externally of things, right? That we can't control. So I would say that this year, January was not the greatest. February, March, April were pretty good. And then come May, going into the rest of the year, price points have fallen. There is a lot more inventory on the marketplace. So even though in our area, months of inventory showcases that it's a seller's market, it's still technically really a buyer's market out there.
I agree.
Right. So, so what I'm seeing right now, and we've sold a few just recently, but we sold one and it all comes down to strategy, right? Like we sold one in Bowmanville that was like a linked house, really upgraded, really nice. Listed at 699, had 35 people through, had 5 offers and sold for 782. Like we are getting some multiple offers. And, the good thing about you guys investing in Clarington is that, Clarington is an old city charm with new construction that keeps the prices up, right? So, it's really great that you guys invested back then. That's the best part, right? And then obviously doing these upgrades and doing all these other things add more value. But here in this market, like, I'm sure that you've kept a close eye on the Port of Newcastle anyways and what's kind of selling and what's not. But things are kind it over the place.
Around the area.
There was that one on Shipway that was like a 3+1 4-bath. I actually got buyers through there. It was a very unique layout. The kitchen was kind of like hidden in the back. So there was there was this disconnection from having, like a more of open concept, kind of stuff. Because once you're in the kitchen, you can't see people in the living room, right? And stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right.
The layout was a little different, and that one was on the market for a while, but finally sold for $765. And then, and it was double car, as you know. There was another one on like 10 Stillwell Lane. That was a 3-bedroom, 4-bathroom, kind of similar to yours, but yours is bigger square footage. They had it. Did you see that listing?
I did not.
No. So that one, it was upgraded. It had some pretty good stuff. And that one sold for $835 in 2 days.
Okay.
And then obviously the ones, there was one that sold really, really well on Carveth. That was a 3-bed, 4-bathroom, but it had above ground 2,000 square feet. And it was a pretty big house, and it was on the ravine side of it. And that one there sold for $115.
Yeah.
In June, which is good. So the thing is like prices are kind of all over the place, right? So, I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds like
Do you already see how I'm already positioning myself? Looks like price, and the reason why I went over all this little sales there is to show them, hey, there's something almost for 1-1, there's something for 760, there's something for 835. So I'm showing that the range is all over the place, right? So I'm getting set up to position myself to come in the house.
you guys done a lot of great upgrades in your house. And my concern is that not seeing the house and giving you an online assessment, my concern is that I'm not really serving you at your highest need and giving you a lower conservative number that I don't think is a real number. You know what I mean? And understanding that you're in the information stage, it's important to know how much your house can sell. And then depending on when you want to take advantage of it, we can just adjust to help you figure out what you want to buy for, right? Because right now, definitely in this market, tons of great deals, right? It means that on the listing side, we just have to be super, super tight on price. But on the buying side, tons of opportunity, right? So lots of great things there. So I don't know if you'd be open to it, but I'd love to come take a tour of the house. I do leave you a booklet. I'm not invasive. And that way I can kind of show you markets that show you the comps that I'm talking to you about, seeing the lovely upgrades and the landscaping that you guys have upgraded, and then give you a market value price. At that point, it's up to you whenever you want to take advantage of it. But I think this would help you a lot because it would let me see the eyes on the upgrades and also see the layout. And that way I can kind of give you the best number that the market would be willing to give you, right? So I think that would be the best way of really helping you out.
Okay. How long are you looking into the future for that, Nick?
So obviously the properties, the value that we give you obviously can change day to day because it's stock, right? But I mean, the Port of Newcastle is pretty good with their values because it's a whole different experience compared to just being in Newcastle. You're right by the water. I mean, there's tons of things.
Yeah, trails,
Port of Newcastle.
100%. So the Port of Newcastle is good because it kind of holds its value. So, generally I would say that value would probably be good for about a month, maybe 2 months at max, because I do give a range where it future-proofs a few things, but obviously everything's based on comparables, right? So if something sells really high in the next couple comparables, and that helps us. Obviously, if things sells, much lower, I mean, it's not the greatest for us, but we can still hold our value as much as possible. The home assessment just generally takes anywhere between 30 minutes to 45 minutes. It's more so just questions and educating, but other than that, that's pretty much it, to be honest with you guys. Are you available sometime next week or the week after?
Let me look. We're taking our granddaughter to all these different universities and.
Cool. What university does she have her eyes on?
So already just like talking to him about right? So I'm just gonna fast forward a little bit.
Could 1 p.m. work?
Yeah, 1 p.m. is good.
Yeah, and the Tuesday would be obviously the next Tuesday we're talking about.
Yeah, Remembrance Day.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, geez, already then. Okay, so I can definitely do that for 1 p.m. No problem. Is Pam going to be there as well too?
I'm going to say yes.
See, most people would not even throw that out. They would be so excited to get the sale, or not the sale, but the home assessment, that they're not asking, hey, are all people on title going to be there? Right? Because if you only present to one, it's kind of tough because you don't have both people there, right? Sometimes you do it because of timelines, whatever, and it's still fine. But you want to see how engaged they are. If both of them are there, that means that they're interested and they're going to listen to me, and hopefully they're going to make a decision.
I don't have anything in the Bible where she's got appointments or anything, but that could change.
Okay,
but right now I think so. Yeah.
Okay, cool. No problem at all.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is, because this is my office number, what I'll do is I'll send you a text through my direct number, saying, I look forward to meeting you on the 11th. If anything changes, just send me a text. Obviously, because it's my direct number, I'm much faster to respond on compared to my office number. And if I don't hear it from anything, then I'll just see you on the Tuesday at 1 p.m. then.
Sounds good, Nick.
Cool. Well, hey, man, I really appreciate you not hanging up on me. It was a pleasure chatting with you, and I can't wait to meet you guys both on Tuesday.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And done. So before I go into a few things that I want to go over again, was there any aha moments? Was there anything that anyone learned from the call? Anything at all?
I think I like how you have all the data right in front of you as you're talking to them so that you can navigate that with specific detail. I think that's good. I've found that sometimes I'm able to be at my desk and have MLS up and have RPR up and all those things, and sometimes I don't. So I think that's good. I try to get that RPR report at least
100%.
made before the call so that I have that data. But I
The
like
most
that.
important thing is you need to pull up the last listing when it's sold. Then you got to look
Mhm.
at what's available and then what's sold. The three thing and market stats. Those are the four things that I always have before the call. Obviously, it's hard because sometimes calls just get booked and you're kind of under the gun. But the most
Mhm.
important part is if you can't do that market stats, you need to definitely pull up the last listing. You have to pull up what has sold and what's available. Those are the three things you must before the phone call. If you're 10 minutes
Mhm.
late to the phone call them 10 minutes late because remember when we talk to people, every person we talk to, they're interviewing us. So if we don't come super prepared or we don't connect with them the right way, then they're not going to be engaged. So it's all about giving items of value. That's the most important part. That's it. But yeah, it's just, for me, I call people late sometimes half an hour late. It is what it is. If they answer, they answer. But it's more, I rather be calling late and having all the information on my fingertips rather than just calling in just kind of guessing because you're going to screw yourself. Because you remember, these are people that live in the area and they're also looking at sales. So something to consider. But if you're 5 minutes late to the call, you're 5 minutes late to the call. I rather always come in really informed rather than 5 minutes, 10 minutes late because they're not going to care. I actually called this guy 2 minutes late. Whatever, 2 minutes not a big deal, but like didn't care. So, anyone else? No aha moments. You guys are doing this on your calls. Is there anything that you liked on the call other than kind of having information ready? Any scripts? Any liners? Anything at all?
I think that, I mean, it just sounded like you were natural, which I assume, like I've learned a lot of it when you practice the script well in advance and you practice, it makes you sound more natural. So there were probably a lot of moments in that call that are scripts for you
Yeah,
that sound like they're just normal and natural. So I
exactly.
think that's been one of the things that I've been trying to do is practice asking those questions and raising my inflection and
Yeah,
like all those things.
yeah, which I think is a great thing, and it all honestly all comes down to scripting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, he doesn't feel like I'm like anyone that I talk to, they don't think that I'm scripted, but it's like I've been having conversations like this for 10 years. I'm scripted. It may come
Right.
off like I'm not, but I am.
One of the things that I learned recently from another coach was,
Yeah,
it's not about getting a script and memorizing it necessarily. It's
it's about
your
internalizing.
conversation is a script.
Yes,
Your style, your communication method is a script. You just have to know what you're asking, what you're saying,
exactly.
and find that rhythm and find your own where you're comfortable.
Exactly.
Because there are scripts out there that I feel like, man, I sound like a douchebag.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, right? And that's where it is. You're learning information, and from learning that information, you're internalizing what you want to say and what you don't want to say. Obviously, some of the scripts that you see or hear, they're pretty aggressive. To be honest, I've taken how I started was I took some of the scripts that I felt that I was more genuinely me and authentically me, and then literally throw myself in the fire, made them like so many calls, got used to the conversations, got used to the awkwardness, and then from there I found out which scripts work and which doesn't.
Right.
So it's going to be more trial and error. Like there's no magical script. The script is going to get you further in the conversation, but what also is going to help you get further is your personality and you jiving with the client, right? The script is just going to give you a benchmark of where the conversation is going to go, but the rest is going to be you connecting whichever way, right? So yeah. Now, is there any other objections that you guys have heard over the phone or have a hard time dealing with? I would love to help you guys get over those objections. You guys are so quiet, other than Buck. You guys are all crushing it. You guys all booked home assessments this week or for next week? Because if you haven't, this is the time to call and figure out.
Hey, Nick. So I'll just speak up. I'm new to the program, so basically, I mean, just a weekend. I haven't even had my meeting with my rep yet. My
Okay, fair, fair,
person.
fair.
So this is all new to me, but I love what you said. We've gotten leads in, and so we're trying to learn the system and get all the training and stuff done. The only things that we've had is, I just want the assessment. I
Yeah,
and so, but I love how you work that in and how you worked in from the very beginning. People don't want that. People, the leads that have come in, they're even responding to Ashley. So there's a lot that I have to learn.
Of course.
But anyway,
Yeah.
I love what you said. I love everything. I'm going to incorporate that in with my partner. It's
So I'm
great.
thinking to a Timbit. So when someone says, "Hey, I just want the number," right? A few scripts that you can use. Now, one script is, "Hey, totally understand you want a number. However, I just need to find a few more information so I can really narrow down that number because me just shooting out a number right now will not help you because I don't know if that's truly right. So do you have a quick moment for a phone call or do you have a quick moment to chat just so I can find some more information and then I can tell you the value right there and then?" Right?
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
one of them. The other one, if you want to be a little bit more bold, is I totally understand that you want the home assessment. You want a home assessment and you want a number to shoot out now. But curious, are you more concerned about a number shooting out now or actually the true value of your home?
I like that one too.
Right? And then furthermore, be like, oh, well, what's someone might say what the difference is, right? Well, me finding out the upgrades in the home and any additions or any improvements in the home will help raise your value. Me just shooting out a number is just a blanket statement, but it's not tailored to your home, right? So if I was a home seller, I would want to know what my true value is, and if I needed to take a few moments for a phone call, I would definitely do so. You know what I mean? So you kind of
Yeah.
have to just like massage it in and let them know.
Well,
I
I'm
like
going to share this with my partner because you fit. Everybody's personality is different and everything. So, but you fit in with what my partner is, and she on one of the calls that the guy was just looking and trying to get the value for his daughter, right? And but they hit it off, and she walked through very similar to what you did, but she already had a realtor that she was working with. He was just trying to help, but it was she did what you're saying, and it
Yes,
went great. I listened to the conversation, and so anyway, so we're excited about being
of
able to
course.
engage and get more
Of course.
and grow in this whole thing.
Of
So
course. Now, another thing when someone has agents, it's a kick in the ass sometimes when you go do all that work. But what we do to take some deals away from people is, hey John, totally understand you have someone in mind. Curious, would you consider a second opinion? Curious, would you? Yes, you would. Okay. Here, hey, listen, I'm not here to step on anyone's toes, but at the end of the day, this is a business transaction, as you and I know. Yes, we've hit it off, but at the end of the day, it's about who can really get you what you need and help you in this. Not saying that your past agent can't. It just basically means that maybe you want a new refresh strategy or something a little different that I can showcase that maybe you haven't experienced yet. So you're kind of saying it in a way of like, you're not saying anything rude to the agent, but you're giving the client or a prospect some more food for thought, right?
yeah, I
So,
love that.
so those are good things too.
I feel like whether it works out with the daughter, but maybe she can revisit that as far as with the daughter. But I feel like she hit it off enough with him to where
Exactly.
following up with the dad that
Yes.
it could be future business as well.
Of course. And remember, once you know, like you have something like that, don't be scared to ask questions. So for example, hey, totally understand you be open to a second opinion. That's great. Curious, what did they value your house, your agent? Start asking questions because they're going to tell you. And then you're going to know if that agent is right or wrong. Let's say John, you're saying, oh, well, they were saying about 750, 775 is what my house is worth. Oh, really? Curious. Okay. That's really interesting because the last sales that I see that's similar to your house are between 850 and 9. So right now, like with that current opinion, you're leaving almost 100K on the table. I mean, if you want to, great, but you're leaving that equity for the next buyer. Why don't we do this? Why don't I come by the house? Let me meet you and your daughter. Let me showcase what we can do differently. And hey, if it works, it works. If not, you still have a friend in your books or whatever, right? So, kind of the things that remember, you want to like when people the things with agents is once there's an objection, they shut down, right? Objections are objections, but if you can get through them, what you want to do is you want to like literally ask questions and take one step closer. Okay, one step closer, one step closer instead of just here, right? Because that's how you build the conversation, the relationship, and these things. But yeah, so that's great.
Yeah.
Have you ever encountered people that have either already are in the middle of a transaction, they've already got their home listed, or
Yes.
I had one where the guy had already, like he was a pending buyer of a home and he was looking for the value of the home, I guess maybe to validate his purchase price. But at what point, like, if someone's already in the middle of a transaction, whether they've said they had an agent or not, like, respecting agency, representation, what kind of questions can we ask to stay ethically on the right side of the ethics,
Yeah.
but
So,
also gain more information?
of course. So remember, okay, so here in Canada, I'm sure that the rules are very similar in the States, but remember, if they clicked on your ad or your post or whatever, and the seller is now talking to you or the buyer is now talking to you, you
Mm-hmm.
in no obligation of being in trouble, right?
Okay.
It's only when like, hey, I'm represented by an agent, and Buck, you call me out of the blue. That's kind of
Right.
poaching, right? But if an agent, if a seller reached, gave authority, which is putting their information in for you to contact them or whatever, I mean, it's fair game at that point.
Yeah, that's a good
How I
point.
That's how I see it. I'm not being an asshole, right? Like it's like, if someone came to me and asked me certain things and they chose to come to me, that means they're curious and they may want my opinion and they may want to work with me, right?
Right.
Obviously,
Yeah.
like, just how I was just showing John about asking about second opinions and doing all these things. I've never once said anything nasty or bad about their agent, but I've
Mm-hmm.
just been saying like, oh, curious, interesting that they have that perception of the market because there's a different way that I'm seeing the market. Would you want to see through these lens? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So if you do it like that, it's up to the client if they want to end an agreement with their agent if they feel like they're not doing the right thing. If someone's already waiting for closing and they bought and they're waiting for closing just to see what value is, hey, no problem. I would still, obviously they're not going to do anything. They just bought a house, but I would keep
Mm-hmm.
that in mind. Maybe put them on like a drip where if any homes come up for sale or sells, you notify them. So maybe you didn't get this one, but maybe you can get the sell and buy in the next few years.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's not about like a lot of agents. This is a problem. Okay. A lot of agents are looking for today business. Obviously, that is super important. Don't get me wrong. Right. But the ones that do very well, like myself and other top agents that do make seven figures, is like what I'm trying to do is I'm mining relationships. If I can mine 100 relationships a month, that's 1,200 people that have a relationship with me. And that means if as long as I'm doing my right thing, giving them information, checking in, not dropping the ball on that, 1,200 people, do you not think out of 1,200 people I could probably do 50 to 75 deals? And that's just one year.
Right.
That's just one
Yeah.
year, right?
Yeah, good point.
So it's about building relationships. And this is the other thing. Real estate agents have a shitty name, unfortunately, right? And I want to always change that narrative because I'm not one of those shitty agents. And people can see the difference. People can see the difference. So
Definitely.
just something to consider,
One of the other things that, like, one of the calls that I had yesterday, she was really kind of out of my market, out of range for where I really list, and I'm not sure how the ad popped up in her feed. It's like 2 hours away, but like when you're saying like when you're asking people where they want to go, if they want to move out of state or they want to move to a different area that isn't in our wheelhouse, do you use that opportunity to get referrals and to give referrals to other agents in those areas?
I do, but I feel that it is it's a little tough because you don't want to build a connection with someone and then next thing you know, you send it to someone else.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So what I would do is I would probably book the appointment, right? Yeah, it's 2 hours. It's a pain in the ass. But I would book the appointment, right? And I would let the person know I'm going to take one of my associates that works in that area specifically as well too. But I'm going to be coming as well because I'm still going to be involved in this.
Right.
And that way you can lock down the referral fee and then the buy in your area if she's buying in your area, or if she's buying something else, then you're getting another 25% fee. So to
Right.
travel 4 hours plus maybe 2 hours of talking, 6 hours to get paid, I don't know, fucking couple $1,000. I mean, I see
Yeah.
it.
One of the things that I really am trying to focus on is like not discounting these leads. Because I want the average sale to be higher to make a better average, but not just throwing away or discounting, investment grade properties that I could be connecting investors to, or just like you said, building relationships, because maybe that low end house that they're selling is their next purchase is going to be a higher end. So I'm trying to like keep the right perspective on all that as well.
100%. And that's pretty much it, to be honest with you. And just trying to, help people out where I can and open and not having the door shut on certain opportunities, right? That's just what it is. Does anyone else have any questions, anything at all, any advice that I can help you out with for the week? No? You guys are a quiet bunch.
I thought it was great. Thank you very much, Nick.
Yeah, no problem. Dwayne, Tessa, Ryan, you guys have any other questions at all, or?
No, I like listening to the call. That was really helpful.
Yeah, for sure. Is there any objections that you guys are facing that might be tough, or some sort of strategy that you guys want to learn more on?
My last call, he was really resistant to me coming over. So I think I asked, 2 or 3 times. So that was one that, other than just following up and checking in on him, and he lives in a gated community, so getting in to drop something off is
Hard, yeah.
But yeah.
Now, another way that I try to get people in a little bit more, but it's different, right? But I say, hey, Tessa, I totally understand that you're just in that information stage. You may not be ready to have someone come over right yet, which I totally understand and respect. But curious, if I was able to come to your house and quote you another 100, 200K more, wouldn't that be something of value that you would want to know?
So what if the home prices, at least where we live in Las Vegas, they're not quoting as high? So I get a little nervous about using that, just because I think.
But did you give him a number? Did you give him a number before over the phone?
I gave him a range because he kind of knew a range. So I kind of,
Like just approved the range that he gave essentially?
yeah, I said, from what I'm looking at, but unless I see what you have, and he did say that he had made some upgrades. So I said, unless I see what you have, I'm not able to give you an accurate number that,
Yeah.
To list at.
So I would change some of the wording there, in my opinion. Like how I was saying this guy, hey Tessa, I totally understand where you're at, but my fear is that I'm not serving you in your highest need. And right now you're looking for an online assessment, right? Obviously, if you've changed the property, you've put some premium upgrades in the house and you've done some premium finishes, that obviously helps you and gets premium dollars, right? So that's why I'm curious. Yes, we've talked about a range, but if you've done some upgrades, I might be able to quote you 50 to 100K more, which is something that I know as a homeowner, I know that's something that is something of value to me. Wouldn't that be something of value of you if you know that you're sitting on more money? So then when can I come by?
Okay.
Just a different way of saying it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm really good at. I'm really good at like, okay, everyone says this way. Okay, what can I do to make it sound more curiosity, right? Because the only way we're going to get into the house is motivation, right? If they're motivated, or curiosity. That's pretty much it. But I mean, in the meantime, obviously, I would put them on like a sold list or something like that, and then kind of go from there. And also, too, like what I've been doing as well is if I have someone that, a buyer in the area that might be open to that specific unit or whichever, I would let that person know, hey, I have a buyer. I understand that you're probably not thinking of selling or anything like that, but curious, like, if we gave you some time, like a week or 2 weeks to kind of get your house prepped, would you consider having my buyer in? At the end of the day, if they say no, that's fine. But you know what you're doing to the prospect? You're like, wow, okay, this person's thinking about me.
Right.
They have buyers in the area. So when I'm ready to sell, why wouldn't I call that person? So it's just kind of like doing above and beyond things that most agents don't do. And that's it. And you're an above and beyond agent. I know we chatted a few times. So
Thanks, Nick.
but yeah, okay, awesome. Do you guys all have any other questions or anything like that? If you guys are good, then I mean, we don't have to stay for another 10 minutes, but if you guys have anything at all, I'm here for you guys and I want to help you out. So speak now or forever hold your peace. Speak now or forever hold your lead gen.
Thanks, Nick. I think that was very helpful. Much
Okay, cool.
appreciated.
Cool. I think I just got a chat from Ryan. Okay, yeah. No problem. Well, hey, if you guys have any questions, follow me on Moretti Real Estate on Instagram. If you guys need anything, just let me know. Other than that, I'll leave you with one more thing. Remember, when you're lead genning, right? I saw something online. Being consistent doesn't show. Being consistent, you don't see what you're doing every day, but the consistency, there's going to be one day where everything just happens, and that is what consistency is. So I know that with online leads, obviously, like you probably get no answers, you probably get people saying fuck off or I'm not interested, but that's just part of the game. And remember, you're an agent that's choosing to prospect in a sea of agents that don't do that, because people can't deal with the rejection. So what you're doing now is you're just raising your rejection bar and being so numb to it that when you deal with objections, it is much more easier to control your emotions and think clearly of where you need to be on your feet to get through the call. So just remember that, people who choose to lead gen, you guys are awesome agents, and you're choosing to go even harder and improve your skills, improve your business, and doing all that. So it's just how I see it. It's like people like us going to the gym and people choose not to and they're happy, which is fine, right? But in this life, in terms of real estate, we are all uncapped. No one can tell you, hey, Buck, you can only make 100K. No, you can make 1 million if you wanted to. It all just comes down to your systems, your organizations, the way you conduct your business, the way you're on social media, and the way that you attract other sellers and buyers that want and investors that want to work with you. So really, like, when we get in our head, and I'll tell you guys from my own personal view, is when there's a lead that I see a lead named John, let's just say, and I don't want, for some whatever reason, I don't want to call this lead. I feel like I'm going to get the biggest no. Those are the leads that you should be calling. Because every time I have that pit in my stomach where I'm like, oh, fuck, I don't even want to call this person. It's going to be a waste of the time. And I call them anyways, they end up turning out to be an appointment or a really good conversation for the future, or maybe a buyer, or they're going to refer.
That's good. I like that.
So your body telling you no is your spidey sense that you should do it.
That's good.
So just something to consider. And I mean, you guys are all awesome. We're all, real estate is not easy. Especially with what today's happening in the marketplace, everything that's happened in the world, but we still show up every single day to make it happen. So you guys are all warriors, and you guys are going to slay the day. So that's all it is. So
awesome. Thanks, Nick.
Go out there, get it done, and
Meskula opportunities or whatever. Is there something that I should be doing? Like, all those things you just listed, getting the market, most recent listings, what's sold, what's available, and the market stats. Do you kind of keep those in a folder for each one of those leads separately, or do you just do it as on the fly?
I do it on the fly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm
at that point you're doing
time.
so much. Yes. Because at that point you're doing so much work. I'm going to show you just before we get off the call what I used to do at the beginning when I was trying to figure out the best way to close these leads. And I would do, because so many people at the beginning especially are like, hey, I want a report, or whatever, so I will show you what I've done for some people. And I spent 15-20 minutes on it, and I didn't even get a fucking thank you. So that's when I stopped fucking doing that. So I'll give you guys an example. Let me find one. So I'm going to share my screen. What was the one that's so basically, sorry, 1 second. 1 second. I'm going to show you the front I had for one of these. Sorry, one more second. Where is one of them? Okay, so it would look like something like this. I would have this on the first page saying, hey, this property is built in 2010 with whatever, a little bit about the property, and then a reasonable market value is this. Okay. And then I would show market stats. So I would show what was, so this one was in Clarington, show them what the number was. Then I showed them year to date where the number was, right? And then I showed what detached homes look like, where the number was. And then I went even further and I sent them fucking comps, right? With photos. I basically did like a letter of opinion the whole time. And you know what? They ghosted me right after. So I said, fuck you. I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this. Because the people who ask just for the number right away, those are the people that are really not serious. They either are represented and they don't want to really have a conversation with someone. They just want a number to shoot out.
Right.
I did that for the next 15, 20 people, and I literally got nowhere. And I would waste my fucking time. So, and you know what? Fuck the people. Sorry, I know I swear a lot, but fuck the people that say, oh, I just want the number. Oh, you know what? I'm not working with you because I don't, you're making this too hard. Bro, you weren't going to fucking work with me anyways.
Right.
It doesn't quantify. We have to quantify, right? We have to understand that, like, if someone's truly interested, why wouldn't they take a moment to learn? You're going to buy a car and you see something on Auto Trader and you call the dealership to see if it's available. Are you not, you know what I mean? That shows you're motivated. If you're not even responding or very, very limited in the response, that means you're not interested. Now's not the time. No problem. Maybe you circle back. But I wouldn't just get caught up on that kind of stuff. What I would be caught up on are the people that want to connect with me. That's what we're doing. And with online leads, you're getting so many volume of people that it's okay. It's okay if people are, being like that, because you're getting so much abundance of leads that it doesn't matter. All you want to do is you want the fishes to come in and you want to reel the ones that want to work with you. Obviously, we want to get everybody. I get it. Like, I'm the first one to say the same thing. But I mean, also too, just because you have everyone doesn't mean too, like you guys, obviously at the beginning, you guys just want to be busy, you want to make money, all that stuff. But as you grow your business and as you have a backbone for the business, then you want to like find people who you can actually work with.
Right.
Because like dealing with some nightmare clients, bro, I wish I didn't even take the money.
Yeah.
Just like you're on call all the time, you don't answer them, they're being fucking rude, like all this stupid stuff, right? So it takes a lot for me specifically to not work with a client, but it has happened. But yeah, I think it all comes down to expectations on how you're doing things. But going back, because I talk so much being Italian, is just don't worry about everyone. Just
Right.
just try to find the people that want to connect with you and want your service.
Yeah, that's good. And that's what I wanted to make sure that I had good systems, that I'm not wearing myself out,
Yeah. You will wear yourself out more if you care so much. Listen, I care too, right? But if you try to drive yourself crazy and be like, oh, I should have got this, I should have got that. What you need to start with is just starting to get deals. Once you start getting deals with it, something that you're doing is working.
Right.
Then it's like, okay, what am I doing that's working and how can I like make this net bigger, right? You're not going to get everybody, which sucks because I'm for that, but it's okay. Remember, to live good, you just need to do 20 deals a year. All above and beyond, anything above and beyond from that is just great. But 20 deals a year is probably like 2 to 400K a year. Like, dude, like that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So just something to consider.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, Nick.
No
Very
problem.
valuable.
Bye, guys. Bye, everyone.